almost time for the playoffs. Early pen flip. Gotta love that. Name code Dustin Fantasy Smack Talk. Before we get into it, as always, we start with a tip. And this goes out to people like you, Donger. Straight to you.
There you go. Here's a tip for you. At this point in the season, in a lot of leagues, there's some teams that have no chance of making the playoffs.
Donger.
Don't be the guy that stops setting up, or girl, that stops setting up your team. And if you are that person who's not setting up your team, you're probably not watching this video. So, it's completely acceptable to call those people out, especially if you got money in on the league. Make them feel terrible for ruining the league and corrupting the league, and make sure that they never do it again. It's doing the fantasy world a
disservice.
Yeah.
It is a disservice. Donger, set up your damn team. Bum.
All right, we got some forum questions for you.
You.
Which defense for Mike J 2470? Houston versus Jacksonville, Tennessee at Oakland. Right now, 75% are saying Houston.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer in my mind, but I'm going to go with Houston as well. And the deciding factor is playing at home. That does play a factor when you're looking at defenses. And Jacksonville, granted, they have gotten some points early in the last couple games. It's been normally off turnovers. I like Houston to go ahead, hold them below 20 points. They're going to get the sacks, probably get some picks and whatnot. I'm going to go with the Texans here. All right, Dustin, he wants to know which QB, and this comes from Mahariku. Wants to know, should he be going with Andrew Luck at Arizona or Matt Ryan versus the New Orleans Saints? Who are you going with?
Right now, 75% are saying Andrew Luck. And, I mean, he has a tough matchup going to Arizona. I mean, their D is solid. But, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to put this one on here is these Saints-Falcons games aren't necessarily the shootouts like they've been in the past. I mean, I'm not thinking that it's going to be, basically. New Orleans D is actually really
solid.
good. They're tough to pass
Ryan.
on. Ryan's been really good with turning that defense around. You know, they are no longer a pushover on the defensive side of things. I'm staying away from the Falcons offense if I can. And Andrew Luck, he can do it with his legs, he can do it with his arm. I think he's a little safer. I'm saying Andrew Luck as well on this one. Tough wide receiver question from Gingerbread7. Boykin versus Minnesota or Harry Douglas versus New Orleans. 57% are saying Boykin right now.
There's no question mark on that. I would actually go with Harry Douglas here. Dustin and I were arguing before the show about this one. I'm going with Harry Douglas for the sole reason that he's getting the targets. I know Matt Ryan's playing like garbage, but the attention should be on Roddy White. Harry Douglas has played on all of the snaps. I don't like the fact that Boykin's dealing with James Jones, Jordy Nelson, and that rookie, that QB just has not been looking too good as of late. So I would just go with a little bit of a safer play, maybe not as big as an upside, but a safer play with Harry Douglas.
Minnesota's D is not that great.
Oh, they're terrible.
I'm going Boykin.
I mean, they are literally terrible.
I'm going Boykin on this one.
How many snaps is he playing?
Enough to have an impact. All right, let's get in those dud sleepers and deep sleepers. We'll start with my dud. I'm going Mike Wallace. He's been a disappointment this year. Tough matchup against Carolina. You know, I think
Love Carolina.
a lot of times when a wide receiver starts running his mouth, get me the ball, get me the ball, get me the ball, they do it for a game or two. So I think, you know, he's definitely running his mouth right now saying he wants the ball, but I'm still
You're
saying
saying he's used it up?
stay away from
Too
him.
many? He's bitched so much?
He's done it before. He's had good games. He's trying to do it again. The matchup is too tough. Stay away from him. My sleeper's Kobe Fleener. Arizona's got a really good defense, but not necessarily against the tight end. You know, Fleener's been coming along. He's been playing better as of late. I think he and Luck could hook up for maybe a touchdown this week. And then my deep sleeper is Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, if you're one of the teams trying to ride out the Rodgers injury, like this guy.
A lot of leagues. I'm sorry, buddy.
I know. I'm almost there. I'm almost through it. Hopefully he'll be back week 13. But Ryan Fitzpatrick going up against Oakland, I don't really mind it that much. Fitzpatrick hasn't looked terrible. He does a little bit with his legs. I'm not hating the matchup for him. So if you're desperate, not a bad play this week.
Yeah, Mr. Injury Bug. In the FST League, by the way, his first 3 picks. Doug Martin, Rodgers, Roddy.
Yeah. We had an early draft too.
Man, it's tough. Early or not, doesn't even matter. All right, my dud is going to be Bobby Rainey. I am sorry. I'm sure you spent a lot of fat money on him. I'm sure you used your number 1 waiver on him. He did have a ridiculous game. He is not going to be ranked If he is, it's going to be just inside, but probably not inside my top 20 running backs this week. Detroit Lions is actually a legit run defense. Falcons are terrible. Just know that. Don't think this guy's going to be a 3-touchdown game kind of guy.
I want to go on record. I don't hate him nearly as much this week.
Where are you putting him? Top 10?
Top 15. Top 18. Top 18.
So I'm not putting him.
You said top 20. I'm saying top 20. Top 18.
I will say it goes below 18. We'll have a side bet.
All right.
$50 coming my way. My sleeper, and this ain't really a sleeper, but it's Zach Stacy. If you picked him up, congratulations. You listened to us. That was a good move. They're playing Chicago. Chicago is terrible. I am actually going to put Zach Stacy within my top 5 probably this week.
Crazy.
Or just outside. So that means no matter what, you are starting Zach Stacy this week. And that is why he's my quote-unquote sleeper. My deep sleeper is going to be Mike Glennon. This is really 2 QB leagues. If you're in a 10-team, 12-team league, you're probably not going to be starting him. But I love this guy. In the last 6 weeks, he's had 10 touchdowns. He played very solid last week. He's a great game manager. Finds the end zone. Loves to throw to Vincent Jackson. I like Mike Glennon as a deep sleeper.
All right, let's move to Mike's picks. His dud's going to be Lamar Miller. Huge disappointment this year. He's in a nasty time.
It's not his fault. It's the coaching. He averages like 5 yards a carry. Sorry, I digress.
It's not a good situation for him either
Daniel
way.
Tom.
Weak flex play at best is what he's calling him. His sleeper is going to be Kendall Wright, and he's thinking along the same lines that I was with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Really not a bad matchup for Tennessee this week against Oakland. That offense should be able to move the ball, put some points on the board. And Kendall Wright is having a very consistent year. Take a look at his game log. He hasn't had too many really good games, but he hasn't really had any bad games either. And his deep sleepers, Chris Ogbonnaya. Cleveland's running back situation is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's a mess. And he's the only bright spot out of all those people out there that are getting carries. McGahee hasn't been anything. And Ogbonnaya will give you a nice little boost.
Fozzie Whitaker.
Looked like for a second he might do something, but no.
It was the name.
PPR leagues as well. Ogbonnaya's getting some catches. Not a bad desperate flex play if you got Bernard or McCoy on a bye or something like that.
All right, close this up, Dustin.
So that's it. Questions, post them in the forums. Brent, throw your piece of paper. Way off. Terrible.
That was actually a decent
That's
toss.
what booze will do to you, kid.